welcome back. Just wanted to come through with a tag or response to Chanel Days's hashtag mid-year decks. So just wanting to do a response to her beautiful video that and tag that she started. She started it last year and is doing it again this year, which I think is fantastic. I love her channel. She has some great content and reviews, and also her lifestyle. I used to live in Melbourne for 11 years, so I love watching her vlogs just because it brings back so much memory for me when I was in my 20s and early 30s, just of Melbourne, because I live in Australia. So this is my response to mid-year tarot tag. So the first question is, deck you've used the most so far in 2024. So that would have to be by far my Dreamy Moons Tarot. So this is an Australian artist, and I absolutely love this deck. The backs are beautiful. It's got a little bit of bling. We all love a little bit of bling. And the watercolouring and everything that she's done is just perfect. She has renamed the crystals are swords and the stars are pentacles in this deck. It is a Rider-Waite, based on the Rider-Waite system, so it is an easy reader, but it's just an absolutely stunning, beautiful deck, great to read with, and I get so many comments when I post about it, like, you know, where's this deck from and all that kind of thing. So definitely deck I've used the most so far this year is the Dreamy Moons Tarot. Okay, question 2. A new deck that came into your collection. So the newest acquisition that I have is the Black Moon Astrology cards. So astrology is my project this year. Trying to get that in and understand the houses and all of that type of thing with astrology. So I got this deck to coincide with that. Beautiful purple inlay and great guidebook. And I just loved the images on these cards. So I'm trying to tie this in with my astrology and want to be able to do an astrology tarot offering on my website. So just learning astrology and planets this year. So definitely my newest acquisition that's come in, and newest fave that I've been working with and studying with, along with, it's not here, I'll link the book that I've got in the description. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's a new modern take on astrology. And it's just so simple and easy to read. So definitely would pair that book with this deck and my astrology studies. So that is my new deck that came into my collection, the Black Moon Astrology cards. All right, question 3. Most anticipated deck that was released this year. So I'll pop an image of the deck, overlay that into the video now. But that would have to be the Victorian Romantic. I've always wanted this deck, and it's always been just that little bit too expensive. But when they did a new release on the previous print run, I had to jump on it. And I cannot wait for that to get in my hot little hands. So that is due to come this year. I believe it started shipping already. So I can't wait till that comes in and I can do a review on that deck once it arrives. Question 4, biggest disappointment. So the biggest disappointment deck that I've purchased would have to be the Mythos Tarot. Guidance from the Greek Gods by Helena Elias. I just did not connect with this deck, and the imagery, as you can see when I flick through, is all just headshots with the sorry, that's the Hangman, with the Greek archetypes on them. Like, it's great if you're studying Greek mythology, which I've done in the past, but I need to really do a refresher. Maybe that's why I haven't connected with it. But it's just a deck full of beautiful people, and basically like bust and headshots. And I don't know, it's just, to me, it's just like a Vogue magazine of just gorgeous models. So it's one, I do like the Mariah. But I just can't connect with it. As you can see, it's like the same throughout the deck. And it's just one that just really disappointed me. It's a beautiful deck. Like, the backs are gorgeous, gold edging. Guidebook seems to be really great in terms of coming through with who the Greek god is and all of that type of thing. But I just cannot connect with it. I've tried it multiple times. And it's just one in my collection that I will be looking to rehome. And I've not rehomed a deck in my entire life. But this will definitely be one that I will be rehoming. Biggest surprise this year. So my biggest surprise was the Bohemian Gothic. I knew I would like it, but I didn't realize how much I would love it. And it is winter here in Australia, so I have got it out and doing a lot more of that shadow work and, you know, the inner workings of my ego and my aura and my spirit. But the Bohemian Gothic is just absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it. The cold foiling is beautiful. I need to edge this in black, I think. But it is just a beautiful deck, and a deck that really surprised me, like with how much I would connect and how much it would actually become a part of my practice. So that is number 5, biggest surprise. Bohemian Gothic. And I love this little box. The Victorian Romantic comes in a box as well, so I can't wait for that. Deck Crush, a deck you're in love with. So this is one I've purchased this year, and it has to be the Poesis. The Poesis Oracle is just amazing. I don't know like what I did without this deck now that I have it in my hands and using it in my practice. The keywords and the imagery are just so triggering in terms of getting those intuitive hits, and it is running on par with my Urban Crow Oracle at the moment. They're just absolutely beautiful, this deck. I love the Poesis, and I'm so glad I forked out the money to get it in my collection this year. I love this Silence card. But that is my deck crush at the moment, the Poesis Oracle. Okay, number 7, favorite tarot card. I have 2, just because I couldn't pick one. I have the High Priestess and Death. So the High Priestess has always been a card I've connected with ever since I started learning tarot. And Death is another one that I enjoy in terms of what the card means and how it can be, how it can impact in your life, and how we can go through with such change. And again, people hate the rebirth word, but just change and rebirth and renewal in our lives. And it gives us an opportunity to start afresh, and really take what we've learned and move forward into a new kind of being or new kind of mindset. So I love the High Priestess and the Death card. Whenever I purchase a deck, they're the 2 cards mainly that I look at to make sure that I resonate with them. And they're the deciding factor if I actually go ahead with purchasing a deck. So Death and High Priestess are my fave tarot cards. Number 8, deck that makes you happy. That would have to be my Fountain Tarot. This is, again, along with the Marigold, this is like my soul deck, if there is such a thing. I just love this deck. I love the backs. I'm not one for like a lot of colour in my tarot. But, sorry, I don't know why I'm shuffling. But I just love this deck and the artwork within it, how you can go through and get intuitive hits, how it is still based on the Rider-Waite system, so you get that structure within, but because it's not abstract, but it's a bit more of a modern deck. You can just relate, and it's just, I find it beautiful. So this would have to be next to the Dreamy Moons this year. This would be my most used deck, and I use this normally for personal use, but this is definitely the deck that makes me happy when I turn to tarot. I love this deck, Fountain Tarot. Number 9, I think, most beautiful deck this year. So I had to repurchase all of my collection this year. So you will see a lot of repeat cards in my VRs and responses. And that's just because I have a small collection at the moment due to a fire. But again, it has to be the Elemental Tarot from Tarot Techo Studio. The backs are just gorgeous. Black edging has my heart. And the images are just so crisp and clear and just beautiful. Like, this is another deck that I use and people just go, what is that? Like, it's one that I think is a little underrated. It doesn't get much play out there, but I find it stunning. And with it being Elemental Tarot, the suits are really displayed perfectly and cohesively within the deck. And I just find the imagery just absolutely beautiful and invoking and really stunning. There's like no other word. It's #stun with this deck. I love it. Oh, I love it. So that's the most beautiful deck in my collection, and that I have purchased this year. Number 10, what deck do you want by the end of the year or you're still waiting on? So the deck I'm really looking forward to and really getting my hands on the guidebook, really more so than the deck, is actually the Aquarian Tarot. I would love to have an older tarot style in my collection again. And the Aquarian Tarot new release looks absolutely stunning with the Psychic Tarot guidebook. So that's one I want to sink my teeth into and get my hands on. So that's a deck I want to get by the end of this year. I haven't purchased it yet. It is in my Amazon cart, but it is one that is a little bit pricey here in Australia. So it's one I'm kind of saving up for, but definitely will have it purchased by the end of the year. Number 11, which deck hasn't been used yet but you want to work with this year? So that would be my Golden Art Nouveau. I love this deck, and again, has the bling, has that fancy kind of style, cute little backs, but it's just got gorgeous gold foiling throughout. It's not one I've reached for so much this year, which has surprised me, but I think as I go into the kind of spring summer vibes, I think she'll come out and get used a whole lot more. But yeah, love the Golden Art Nouveau. So that's one I want to really start using as the year goes on. And number 12 question is my favorite video I've made. So that would have to be my deck collection video. So after, obviously, I know I'll stop repeating myself, but after losing everything in a fire, it was just so comforting to go through and see what I had reacquired, and to see what decks I really connect with and what decks that I would actually repurchase. So that video was really one that I wanted to do, to have it archived in terms of my collection to date and where I was at a specific time in my life. And it's a video that, yeah, really, I really will be looking back on, which I can't say that about most of my videos, but definitely my deck collection video is something that I will revisit and review. And I need to do an oracle collection because that is a little bit larger than my tarot collection at the moment. So that will be coming to the channel in the months to come. But yeah, that is my video response to Chanel Day's mid-year tarot tag. I hope you enjoyed. It's been so much fun to do it. If you've got any fave decks or if you've liked any decks that I've shown, please leave comments down below. We can have a discussion about what we've gone through and what excites you in the tarot sphere. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks, guys.